Hi, I'm Neha Nagpal from Magic Bricks. We have Mr. Akshay Dewani from Assetz Group with us. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much.
Tell us about the Bangalore real estate market. What is in demand currently?
So I think that Bangalore is a predominantly mid-segment market. I think the average pricing in Bangalore sort of tilts at around 5,500 odd base price. So you're looking at an average ticket size at around 75 to 80 lakhs where the market sits. There are high-end projects in Bangalore, but I don't think there is much dominance of those projects. So if we have to see the overall development of the city, I think it stands at around 5,500 rupees a square feet. I think Bangalore aggregates probably a turnover close to 18 to 20,000 crores by selling close to 35 to 40,000 apartments in a year, which is predominantly dominated by IT. And I think that summarizes and sums up Bangalore as a market.
Where did you buy this piece of land and why here? Why 63-degree east here?
So, if we ignore the airport, which is a recent 5-year development, IT in Bangalore is focused from east to the south, and the major belts for IT has been around Whitefield, Sarjapur, predominantly around the ORR, and Sarjapur becomes a natural market, coming the way down to Electronic City and then moving to Bannerghatta. So if we see around 75 to 80% of the IT is dominated here. So there is a huge captive demand. Now when there is a huge captive demand, there are various segments which require houses. It's just not necessary there would be requirement of a 5,500 to 6,000 rupees. There would be a requirement for a 4,000 rupees. There would be a requirement for a 3,500 rupees. So there is a reasonable demand in these particular regions, and hence as Assetz, most of our large projects are focused on these areas. We have recently gone to North because we feel that's the future growth corridor going, and just like any other city in the world, whenever there's an airport which is built, the city generally aligns to the airport, and you've seen it time and again, and I don't think anything will happen differently in Bangalore as well. It'll happen, but if you have to go by complete consumer matrix, demand matrix, captive consumption matrix, it'll all stand between the west to the south, and hence we sort of chose this location. We feel Sarjapur is a winner amongst even these 4 locations, because even in the IT sector there is segmentation of crowd. So if you see the average rentals in Sarjapur on ORR would be close to around 60 to 65 rupees a square feet. It ranges depending on the quality of the building. Majority of the biggest headquarters, which are Bangalore based headquarters, are around this area. Wipro is from here, Infosys is building a campus out here, Goldman Sachs is sort of coming in here, Uber is around here. So Sarjapur dominates between these IT hubs as well. So it's a very natural choice to have a location off Sarjapur Road doing that. We also feel Sarjapur Road is now truly congested, and I think it's completely exhausted out whatever land was available. Whatever projects had to be built are built, sold, and they've appreciated significantly in value. I think the Sarjapur growth curve could be more than 60 to 70% in the last, I would say, 4 years. That's the kind of appreciation the main road has seen. I think post a main road getting developed in a particular locality, we start moving to the branches of those roads, and I think the road we are talking about, or where this location resides, is a natural branch, and I think it's a logical choice for a consumer to come in if they want a particular house in this budget.
Okay. So what's the profile of your buyers? Where is the demand coming in from?
So they are buyers which are from the IT segment. As I mentioned, that this is predominantly an IT belt. They're working around here. I think we are targeting a salary base between 15 to, not even 15 actually, 12 lakhs to 24 lakhs is what we are targeting as a home buyer, depending on whether he's buying a 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom or a 3 bedroom. It could be a double income couple looking at around a 20 lakh rupee wage. Typically housing contributes close to 15 to 25% of the annual earnings of an household. That's what we generally feel, and basis that we come up with the average salary levels which we target or we sort of design for. What happens in segments between, when you're targeting an average salary level of 12 to 20 lakhs, the product quality dips. So there is a, when you go above 30 lakh salary bracket, there are developers trying to give qualitative products, but the moment it sort of steps down, the qualitative products which are available for this segment is low, which we felt was a general vacuum and void in this particular segment. So we are trying to fill in and saying, hey, it doesn't matter if even this is your segment, we'll try to give you even a better product than what is being offered at a higher segment. And I think that's the vision behind 63 Degree East. It's no compromise in terms of design quality. We use A-grade contractors, we use My1 shuttering, we have marble finish tiles. They're also not repetitive in nature, so you get a natural finish. We import all our doors from Italy.
Right.
Nothing is sort of manufactured here. The UPVC sections are all German sections. I don't think even 5,500-6,000 segment is offering what we are offering at a 4,000 rupee value. Forget that. I think we are maybe competing with a 10,000 rupee segment. And we feel that it doesn't cost that much. It's all about value engineering to give that upgrade to the person. Subconsciously we start bucketing crowds, and then we have this habit of saying, okay, if it is affordable segment, apply these specifications. If this is a mid segment, apply these specifications. If this is a little better segment, apply these specifications. It's a very, and I just don't understand why a consumer cannot get qualitative specifications when he's buying at an affordable rate. That was a fundamental question which I always keep on asking. If you can value engineer them, I think you have addressed a huge demand or a huge sort of pocket of people who aspire that kind of a lifestyle and living, and I think that's what 63 Degree East sort of aspires to be. So I think it's that only. So I think we are all driven by what we make. So and hence, if you can offer a product which is of a value, that's the 1 bedroom apartment. I think it's very difficult to encompass a value proposition in one go. So let me break it down. So I think that first foremost, I think a consumer needs to address the real situation in which we are living. And in growth corridors, the municipal corporation or the municipality or the civic support generally comes in 5 to 6 years later than envisaged. So you end up moving in a growth corridor, and then you're at the mercy of the civic authorities to sort of build the social infrastructure, civic infrastructure, more than social infrastructure around you. I think at 63 Degree East, we have reasonably tried to handle that. We've been pretty reasonably sustainable in terms of which can sustain for a consumer till the civic infrastructure comes in, like say small measures like 74% of the water we've tried to reuse and recycle, so external dependency on water is 26%. There are absolutely well developed waste converter rooms, manure rooms, reuse rooms, so that again your waste generation is completely minimized and recycled. Similarly, there are the various aspects which are softer points, which could be the light, wind energy, planning, which, because you will have electricity cutouts, how can we make cooler homes in which you can sustain without the infrastructure requirements or power cuts or electricity cuts. So I think these are very essential factors which one really needs to look at given the situation today in the real world we are living in. It cannot be an isolated buy on what is the square feet of my house, what is the per square feet price, this one is offering A, B and C. I think a lot of value goes and a lot of cost goes in creating a sustainable neighborhood, and I think one should expect that from 63 Degree East. The second proposition is design. I feel design is something which I simply say you can upgrade everything in your house, but you can never change concrete, because once concrete is poured and it's built, that's it. That's the final form which one inherits. You can make it fashionable, you can window dress it, you can change it, but you can't change the concrete. So I think it's the way the layouts and the floor plans play out. There's a lot of thought which has gone into it. Like a simple example, I can give a 10 by 11 room in a segment and ask the consumer to give a wardrobe, which sort of is the most formidable and bulky part of the room when you enter, and there's a bed tucked in a corner. It makes you feel claustrophobic. Or I can simply give you a 10 by 10 room and I can push out a 5 by 2 space which is a tucked wardrobe, giving you a 10 by 10 clear room. There is a substantial difference between buying into a 10 by 11 room with a wardrobe which will be in it, or buying a 10 by 10 room with a tucked wardrobe in it. And you can visually see it at 63 degrees, which you will understand. Now these factors determine your life, because that's what you're going to live in on a day-to-day basis. And these things can only be done at the planning stage with mind, thought and design. So I think what we have tried to do is we tried to equip the customer in a lower surface area, higher volume area. That's what we are trying to give to a consumer of 63 degrees. So there's a lot of emphasis of design. Even the touch and feel points, I feel that in India, when you enter into a lobby, it's either granite, depending on the segment, it's vitrified tiles. It's when you enter, it's a very basic temperament you have, you know. It's everything, your landscape to your look and feel to your lobbies to your clubhouse determine the mood of your life. So when you go to a spa, it's not that they have done anything different. All they do is it's very concretized, it's green, it's natural, and your sensibilities and your mood changes. It's nothing to do with the space, it's the mood and the temperament which the designer or that particular space offers you. So we've taken a lot of effort in determining the temperament of this place, and we feel that we want to have a sense of attitude, we want to have a sense of style, we want to have a sense of temperament for people who live here, and a definition and which defines them, and I think that will that's the differentiating factor. It's the clubhouse. We're looking at options which are cotton steel finish cladding, which is probably abroad you would find it in Northern Europe. The entire clubhouse is a concrete form. It's got water bodies inside. It's got a feel and a sense which you feel like you enter, you feel relaxed. There's swimming pools which are step downs. There are length swimming pools. There are leisure swimming pools. It's got that everything for everybody. Even the way the landscape spaces are designed. Now I can take a 20,000 square feet of a landscape space and I can just make it a big garden, or I can sort of segregate the 20,000 into areas which are more intimate. It could be, one could have a barbecue in a corner, one could have a chat in a corner, one could be intimate in a corner, one could have the sense of space in a corner. These forms and temperaments are defined at the design stage, and they really determine the way a life one lives. I think it's just not your house, it's what everything and how the project encompasses and incorporates. it's 25 acres. In the middle of 25 acres we had a 6-acre property which we had 300 full grown trees. We could have easily cut off all those trees. We could have really made buildings out there, and we could have sold, and it's highly profitable to do that, but we didn't do that. We have retained 195 old, maybe 50 to 100-year-old trees in the complex, and we have plonked row houses meticulously, and we have saved those trees. Now, majority of the buildings at 63 degree east are looking at these 195 trees. They are a lung space. To get this today, it's not what we built, it's what you inherit or created over the past 100 years is what 63 degree east is offering. It's not just a project with buildings plonked with some landscape and a clubhouse. It is the nature and a combination of lifestyle and a temperament in a sustainable form fashion which complements design which is presented to you.